are you so interested in selecting a flag bearer before all these changes, all these reforms happen?
It's like putting the cart before the horse.
Now, a diamond and see foundation to interest the guso.
And one be say enya bronsan ye babisi. I asked him this question.
You see,
or say enya bronsan. This is a political party.
Oniha, it investment can be. Nana be sebi party or yakora. The first one national organization say or you pay your party. Mimi kumano. Okasa unyabutre. You don't speak like that. Say a party nyabrosan. How do you speak like that? Kasa benano. No national organizer, tone of language, no be an essay, a reflective position. Obi Kase, a die the unse sa bia, say Nakase, and yet die in a vocal party. You see, when you use emotions, you also use emotions not to go and vote.
Dr. Arthur Kennedy feels that electing the presidential candidate before any other elections is a recipe for disaster.
It's a recipe for success for the party.
Really?
Now. Yes. How?
It's just like Usi dying now, so me Rufi
dying. And then yes, here we NPP party now order that. We have all the structures.
But it's a structure.
Exactly. 80 man is here sitting. You walk with this skyscraper. Dime ben you kwakusi. You go see dime bia. Look, in some jurisdictions, check. Some political parties prominent. Omuko yi omo presidential candidate we are. And some presidential candidates no wabe yi the national executives. Say a province our province cro, a state our state to cro. And some wabe yi executives. So that logic and that comparison is totally unacceptable to me.
Now, one question, Dr. Arthur Kennedy, Ebisai, let me just read that out. Are we attempting to compromise the democratic will of our base in favor of elite convenience?
That's more can
I mean, for Onwaka say it's a recipe for disaster. Eddie flag bearer, and he's asking if indeed you want to compromise the democratic will of your base in favor of elite convenience.
No, what is democratic will? We have our party, constitution. Constitution is the Makoti Article 30 natural. Article 30 National Council to me. In fact, me when they said that drafters of the framers of the constitution require who say there will be a time I be face away.
Former Subin MP Yujibuachi entry ebusuya wakasa. Na nsema okano ebusuya ensem papa soso. Na nsem ni migini say NPP for executives so mutia ebeboa mo. Because in some way it be command and a B. Sasusuna Arthur Kennedy, and so Kasaya man and a B about reply no. Abusia, you jibuachi entry, the Casemno, but so people for say. Now the moment you refim constitution, constitution a customer party no, and the more you know chain. And a personal interest to be a more Emma Nipabinti. What percentage now? Next year, 2026, Moko to Abana Faberia, MPP. And the choir more for say election, no, top to bottom, no, Mwa, Yenya Dadana, Abusia, and some way in easy because the way you do watching entry and a Siabra or Casano. Sasun and the Bees so Abekasa Ababe reply, Arthur Kennedy, Abusia, episode in the mode, because my bonnet and Pupu parties in St. Paulo, I'm a bonnet bede, but the top and penters and I don't matter some about the dying at the amount. Let me try me home and Ben Comono, yet the best so. Alright, abusia ya barania ba. You won't say VANDYKE GH. Me never so subscribe to your YouTube page, no follow all the social media platform as VANDYKE GH. Yes, shasi abusia. Former Subin MP Yujibuachi entry abusia. Wakasa. Then sema okano. E bobwa NPP for say e bimu etin asopema because executive ne bimu pass asode aboden. Ati se woka bibia kire o mabusia. Omunti na okasa Yujibuachi entry kasa. No kasama MPP executives. Moniema amoye no. Mushi na nye sabe bia party ni bedru mi bi be kwako jan emwa mabusia yentie former Subin MP Yujibuachi entry emra.
This is the state of the party now. You best be kind of correct. What do I say? I mean, you say, look, you call election according to Google saying party I take committee the professor Okuya Kotinano or the report about what my recommendations. Recommendations no at the end the woman yeah you got some of be am trouble until there be but the I be my yet no reorganize here. What do I say?
I know the party like I said, Nadia, I'm going to be trouble.
Yeah, can't be a trouble. But one hour more, if you recommendations, and one has encounter. We feel between now and next year, no, the party must reorganize itself. We must fix the party. Ufri, once you conquer, cow de coro, engine in us, or see, now the beco. Now, do coco, carnage now, so now, here. What do I say? The priority now is to fix the party.
Into what in rebuilding the party, where do you start from?
Well, constitution is a holistic document. Constitution, NPP constitution.
Yeah,
it's a holistic document. If you just don't read and take chapter 10, I want to what that's not how to read the constitution. Omo say you go to about 31st canon. They are relying on Article 13. What do I say? Now Article 1 Article 10 any monga. Oko party organization Article 10. Or say there shall be a national organization of the party, which shall consist of the National Annual Delegates Conference. We want about National Congress.
Okay.
If you want about National Executive Committee, and some about Steering Committee. Steering Committee is share every week to administer the affairs of the party. NEC and National Council share every quarter. What do I say? Because in the absence of conference, share. But it's clearly tell you, say the National Annual Delegates Conference, which shall be the supreme, and your mail, it says shall. It's mandatory. Uti.
Yeah.
On can mail or say shall.
Yeah.
Now, uko 10-2. Tihoyo. There shall be National Annual Delegates Conference, which shall be the supreme governing body of the party.
Okay.
Wait, him.
There be.
The National Annual Delegate Conference shall meet once every year. And noon se mana shall cancel to me, Are you listening? Or say it shall meet once a year.
Every year, yeah.
Constitutionally. And in the absence of that, and a National Council and a National Executive share. Because we to share one.
Yeah.
And the everyone say Afibia share back. That's why it's called annual. Annual,
yeah.
But in between, annual, I feel maybe 3 quarters and 4 whatever it is. It's every quarter, more National Council than neck, Mungo share. Maybe be why I say when you say Moya party.
And Sana, I feel no share. Nafi, Yadikasapano, so Diaba. Yeah.
In this particular case, won't be share National Council. I want no national conference to me upon the amount. And Casso Semra National Council, I'm a national conference. Matthias, yes.
Matthias,
that's a appeals court, Echo Semra Supreme Court. Party be that.
Is that what we are seeing now?
Now, Ukosia. Now, I say you to about the 1st January, he presidential candidate.
Yeah.
Now that decision is final. But National Council, and now you keep relying on 13. And I make sure I'm saying 13, 10.
Yeah.
Why are they not talking about the 10? Because you must read this document holistically. This document must be read conjunctively. Article 10 and 30 must be read conjunctively.
Yes.
Oh, they're not doing that. Conveniently, they are, or selectively, they are focusing on Article 13. Same say, Ghana for parking kind. Into 13 no can we are no making it no called baby.
Abusia, former Subin so MP Ujibuachi, entry. Abusia, I'm an NC wa. Osaka to us say NPP. They say internal beef na etua so na ejetua to the dendiano. See, Munya Madi say more solve. That's a next year. My Madi said 31st January 2026. More election. Aqua February MNPP. Some personal interest na mo person mo kokoye. Emwa. Na mo nyani can solve issue ni free answer. Ni hu ekwan ya fa so party na ye nya be organize ho ama ne ma koyi. Before answer na kwa na ka ebi kwa sa top to bottom na mo dey ba no emwa. Ye sha se free dada na from down to top. Abusia yenko so antie Ujibuachi entry.
Anya no kre onya titi. Hwe sansem no munya ika. Why are you selecting a presidential candidate to be able to go out there and campaign? The run of the party is not the presidential candidate's duty. If you're national executive, you're consultant executive, you're regional executive. The running of this party is not in the hands of any presidential candidate. Do you understand?
Me too.
Unless they are and no dereliction of duty. Say the mama na untimenye, na so be na meye mam. Say ukoyi presidential candidate ne. Untimenye campaign because say Ghana for obatodom. The NDC be on person mete. What you say? President can way not yo. But you say obi e misbehaving the party. President could discipline so discipline. I don't constitution man ho wan.
No.
It you say ukoyi president can na bobo party ni anu a. I say unnim odwuma. And respectfully, na unnim odwuma. Because a party no it's not run by, it's run from the base to the top. Once you become a national officer, muna mo hwehwe around the party say mun share every week. Mun share every 3 months na kanina. E che modwuma. Odwuma ise mo ye. Ndi bi be a wire president. Though presidential candidate once elected becomes part of the steering committee, you know, and next one, excuse me, you know, and you know, you must say on the party in one job, and you know, credit.
So you feel this reverse cycling is sort of a recipe for disaster?
Of course.
For the NPP.
My member of parliament in Preno.
Okay.
Every election cycle, every election cycle, that's my mandate. Our constitution, dear mammy. Between constituency elections, MED constituency executives.
Yes.
My two regional elections, the regional executives. My two national, the national executives. My two presidential, my two parliamentary. My two maybe 4 years now. And I say 4 years now. I go to one with the power from you. You say, the other send any person, you know. You be any pan baby, you know, one about force and only say we want one support too. Now, concern start it. After we wake up, and push yeah, man, wake up, we say, man, and more confusion, alienation about party. No, until let's stick, there's no rush. We have to fix the party. And by Nipa crab no money into my majority of the people in the party don't believe. Almost setting of one casa to go and defend it. What if I defend this? I don't know. Shomudin, Bomudin. You been out here, Bobby. I'm going to defend this. I don't know more macro for casa. John Boyd is a former general secretary. Correct upon Dambuchi. Why are you not calling this people to come out to speak to it? Why the same face, the same voices, and the beer? Can't you tell me?
You think it's deliberate, right?
Oh, of course it's deliberate. Of course it's deliberate. But you see, we are not going to allow them to do it because you're passing about power. If you're not going to allow some personal interest, you know, to subvert the interest of the majority, we're not going to allow it. It's idea, you know, you want a democratic party. You may be a candidate pesoka. You may be a fana jemra. Not a baby party. It's just a conference, you know. Put in a motion form and table it. Or the banner do not say, yeah, you got two abano. Yeah, but I want to make I say national council take a decision. In addition to taking final. One can have a chair. But I didn't go to a very any pabes 8 in the that's 7 wolf. The back open the achieve them. I don't know what you will.
So, I can say, what do you see wrong with the current leadership of the party?
You don't have to ask me that question. You are not being fair to me.
No, honorable.
No.
I have. You
are not being fair to me.
Especially as someone who intends to.
Yes, anytime
to take up.
Anytime you are not being fair to me in the CJ.
Really?
Yes. Say when we say me election.
Yes.
Me no be contested. Nipa so akase obi gina bio. Is a betra na me say be put on the table abra woni ha. I'm not being fair to the person. It's not in my nature to do that. So tia meka no so aka. No be etie, no be making decision. Uni heavy. Me no ma me kwan say me kasa. In say me ko kan bibi e fa executive no mo ni nyina ho a more or less o ka ho bi.
Abusia former Subin so MP Yujibuachi entry ene kwete ne kaba ne sisi ono open general secretary e wo NPP. Abusia yento aso yenkwa na bi akache. Na nabi akasa no send message to Dr. Arthur Kennedy. Say ne nsem a o ka say omo no eye election from top to bottom no. So ono omo nya adwen a omo so ene ne nya adwen ti na bi was send strong message ama Dr. Arthur Kennedy.
Dr. Arthur Kennedy feels that electing the presidential candidate before any other elections is a recipe for disaster.
It's a recipe for success for the party.
Really?
Now. Yes. How?
It's just like Usi Dine now, so me Rufi
Dine. And then yes, here we MPP party now order that. We have all the structures.
But it's a structure.
Exactly. Eti man is here today. You go see skyscraper. Dine be you go see. You go see dine be. Look, in some jurisdictions, check. Some political parties prominent. Omuko yi omo presidential candidate we are. And some presidential candidates no be yi the national executives. Say a province our province cro, a state our state to cro. And some go yi executives. So that logic and that comparison is totally unacceptable to me.
Now one question, Dr. Arthur Kennedy, Ebisai, let me just read that out. Are we attempting to compromise the democratic will of our base in favor of elite convenience?
That's more.
I mean, for Onwaka say it's a recipe for disaster. Flag bearer, and he's asking if indeed you want to compromise the democratic will of your base in favor of elite convenience.
No, what is democratic will? We have our party, constitution. Constitution is the Makoti Article 30 natural. Article 30 National Council to me. In fact, me when they said the drafters of the or the framers of the constitution who say there will be a time I be face away. So if we were doing something illegal out of the constitution, that is where I can agree. Say as a say yes, see your constitution it trase near be fufro. But if he is unable to point out any infringement on this constitution, then I beg to differ.
Busia, na nabi anu si ya pepepe ena yijibuachi ebe reply no. Se sansem na wo kana mo personal interest na mo no. Wote wana mo ye de mo pe no. Mutimi nya de mo pe. Former Subisu MP yijibuachi asem say eno kan ye.
Why are you so interested in selecting flag bearer? Before all these changes, all these reforms happen.
It's like putting the cart before the horse.
Now, a diamond na unsi foundation to interest the guso.
And one and be say enya bronsan ye babisi. I asked him this question.
You see,
or say enya bronsan. This is a political party.
Oniha, it invest me can be. Nana be sebi party no yakora wo. The first one national organization say o ye penyo party no. Me me kumano no. Okasa onya abotre. You don't speak like that. Say, hey, party for how do you speak like that? Kasabeno no. No national organizer. Tone of language. No be say a reflective position. Obi kase. A die the unse osa ebia. Say naka say enye die na epoka party. You see, when you use emotions, you also use emotions not to go and vote. And is that what you want? As a national organizer, your job now is to draw people to you. Let people gravitate towards you. What I say, but Sakasano na and yet done. You see, when you do that, you are dealing with the masses. Oh, we are dealing with the masses, and over can be a quick and I'm asking my younger brother to tone down. And if I want you man, you be able to be the say brave woman. Yentie, the group is any we can easily discard it. But sad dying one. Yes, you see anything there. No one about power and prenu. Sada na also obet fan oka ho asem no. E da power and prenu. Na empefo se kwaya ajo no. E fe kwaya na. Please na empefo aka. Kwaya ajo no. E fe da ma bi na bi kai se kwaya ajo no. Am onu tuma be national youth organizer. Abe national organizer no. Mo fe no kwaya. We need stability in this party. We don't want anything that will shake the foundations of this party. That's not what we want, because we want to win 2028. And if the party fixes itself and reconnect with Ghanaians, realign with the vision of Ghanaians and the hopes and aspirations of Ghanaians, we can win power.
All right, Abusia, former Subinsu MP, Yujibuachi MP, and your quarter in Kabino. Akasayi, Kasasu, Emuham, Emuso Edes, or Abusia, my neighbor so follow all the social media platform. Now subscribe to your YouTube page and anytime they ever drop a latest update on Sakamedasi, Macau.